Hello herro friends, it's Meg, and today I want to talk to you guys about the fear of getting started. Now, this is something that I definitely encountered when I was starting my YouTube channel, and it honestly held me back a lot. I think when you're trying to start something new, it's very natural for you to feel scared, to feel uncertain, and feel very unsure of yourself. But the main message that I want to preach basically in this video is that you just have to start. You just have to. And I know literally everyone says this, but it's because it's true. You just have to start. And, you know, for me personally, looking back at my own journey with YouTube, I look back at my, first few videos and I'm like, wow, like I've come a long way since then, because the editing, the thumbnail, the way that I took the shots, everything, like it's not up to par with what I would do now after, months of creating YouTube videos. But I still don't regret making those videos, because those videos are what allowed me to get here in the first place. Because I know that if I didn't post my first video, I wouldn't have gotten into the momentum of posting more videos, which is how I was able to get better, was by constantly pushing out videos and doing my best in each of them and trying to incrementally become better. And honestly, that's the only way to grow. And so as much as I am a little bit frustrated with some of my older videos, again, editing, thumbnail, it could have been so much better. Especially some of the videos, like the content is really good. Like for example, the video where I take ADHD medication for the first time, the content is amazing and I can't recreate it because that was me like live reacting to the first time taking ADHD medication. But I just feel like the editing could have been so much better in that video, and if I start to critique it, there's no end to it. But ultimately, like, I value the video as it is because it was a stepping stone in me getting better and learning more about, okay, like, this is how I need to edit, this is how I need to shorten things, this is how I need to talk, this is how I need to record, all of these things. And so what I'm trying to say is that your first few videos, if you're starting a YouTube channel, that is, your first few pieces, if you're an artist, your first few posts, if you're starting on an Instagram or something like that, whatever it is, your first few whatever that you put out into the world, probably not going to be your masterpieces. And it really shouldn't be. Because at first of all, you don't have an audience, so even if you post a masterpiece, there's not that much people to appreciate it, which is really unfortunate. And secondly, if you waited until you perfected the thing, then you started too late, because you could have been documenting the process of you creating this thing. And like if you go back in time, like there's so much you could have done. And this is not to be like a regret video, like I don't want people to be like, oh, I should have started like 5 years ago, I should have started a week ago, I should have started yesterday, whatever. Like, this is not to encourage that kind of mentality. That's not what I want to do. I'm just saying that your first few things are just not going to be perfect, and that's okay. That's perfectly fine. If anything, that's perfect that it's not perfect. A little bit about my personal story with starting a YouTube channel. I've wanted to start a YouTube channel for years now, and this was the first year that I finally sat down and did it. Recorded a video, edited it, and posted it online for the public to see. In the past, I had made a few videos here and there, took a lot of video like footage of like me going on trips with friends and stuff like that, but I never actually sat down and edited. And I never, even if I did edit some of that footage, I wouldn't post it anywhere because I just didn't feel like it was good enough. But I realized this year that the only reason I don't have a YouTube channel is because I didn't post a YouTube video. And that seems really obvious, but it was kind of profound in the moment, because it was like, oh, I just need to post a YouTube video and then I'll have a YouTube channel, like it was that simple. And heck, like if you wanted to create a channel, you could create one without actually making a video. So like technically you could make a YouTube channel, you would start YouTube without making a video, but I feel like that defeats the purpose. So for the sake of this video, we're saying that you need to post a video in order for you to create a YouTube channel, or I guess be like a YouTuber. Basically, I'm trying to say that the only reason I wasn't doing the thing that I wanted to do was because I was afraid of starting. So here are some steps that I took in order for me to kind of overcome that fear of getting started. The first thing I did was to analyze the fear. What was I actually afraid of? And I think this answer varies depending on who you ask. And so I think you should just be honest with yourself and, ask yourself this question and write some of the answers that come to mind down. For me personally, I think the biggest fear was the fear of failure, of starting a YouTube channel and then it not going anywhere. And because YouTube is such a public platform and, eventually I didn't initially tell anyone about my YouTube channel except for my family and very close friends. And, I was kind of embarrassed to have a YouTube channel and I was scared because it's such a public thing that anybody can stumble upon, anybody can find, and they can see, oh, she's doing YouTube, but she only has X amount of subscribers, or oh wow, her videos suck, or I was afraid of that judgment, the social judgment, and the fear of kind of quote-unquote failing, because success is subjective and whatnot, but I was afraid of failing in front of other people. And once I was able to narrow that down and really figure out, okay, that's what I'm afraid of, it's the fear of failure, I was able to tackle it in a more rational way instead of just being oh my gosh, I'm so scared to start a YouTube channel. Now I was okay, I'm afraid to fail in public. So what can I do to alleviate some of that fear? The first thing I did, as I mentioned earlier, is that I didn't really tell anyone about my YouTube channel. I didn't post about it on Instagram. I just told my family and some close friends of mine that I trusted who, were very supportive, and I knew that would be supportive of really anything that I tried out. And so I told them about it. I shared my first video with them, and it was such a big deal to me when I first shared my YouTube video with my friends, because it was something that I worked really hard on and it took a lot of time to make because I wasn't used to shooting and editing. And so it was something that I put a lot of work in, and I was afraid that I would get negative feedback. Even with the people, the small group of people that I chose to share it with, I was scared. But once I shared it with them, it was kind of like baby steps. It was like taking baby steps, in that because I was able to share it with these people who are very close to me and they gave me positive feedback, and some constructive criticism as well, but they were overall very supportive, and they thought it was really cool that I was starting a YouTube channel and all of these things, and I just got positive reinforcement. And from there I was okay, cool, people don't think I'm a loser. And even though it's such a small thing, that was really helpful. And I think as I started to make more videos, I realized how, in a good way, insignificant my videos were, in the sense that in the grand scheme of YouTube, there's so many videos and video creators out there, and I was just one small YouTuber that was just getting started. And so the first few videos that I put out, they were only being watched by my friends and family, which is fine. I really appreciate that they supported me and everything, but it kind of took away that fear of failing in public, because I realized, oh, until I become big enough that I have a big audience, I can't really fail, because A, if I'm continuing to produce content, I will keep growing, and B, I won't have that many people watching me anyway. So, it's kind of insignificant in a good way. Not in the sense of oh, my content doesn't matter, because I do think, what you create matters, and, creative expression and the message you want to put out there, it's very important. But what I'm trying to say is that in the grand scheme of everything, and also your YouTube journey, the first few videos are going to be insignificant. It is significant in the sense that you started, but in the grand scheme of things, in terms of quality and the messaging and editing and shooting, all of that stuff, it's very insignificant. And I think realizing that really helped me to become more confident and be okay, I just need to focus on creating good videos. And so that fear kind of, it was still there, but it became less prevalent because I was more focused on creating good content and not so much on the fear of posting and like the fear of failing. And I know my story is not universal, like not everybody is going to have the fear of failure like I did, but I think it could be a great example of how you can identify a fear and overcome it, or come up with, you know, strategies to overcome it. I just want to close by saying that if you are thinking that you want to start something, and or you have content that you want to share with the world, and or you have a message that you want to advocate to an audience, I highly encourage you to take that step and start. I know it's hard, I know it's scary, but figure out what you're actually afraid of and really decompose it and think about, you know, okay, like what can I do to make myself less scared? It doesn't change the fact that it is scary, but it does change your approach to it and your mindset towards it. I just want to encourage any of you who are like on the fence about starting something to just do it. Kick fear in the butt and just get started. That's all I have to say. If you like this video, please leave a like. It helps out so much. And if you liked content like this, or you're interested in seeing my face again, consider subscribing. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you guys. I'll see you on the next one. Bye!